What's going on, everybody? It's your big homie, the Armchair Operator, and welcome to today's video. Now, if you're new to my channel, welcome. If you enjoy today's content, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. Become a part of the family. We would love to have you. And if you're coming back to my channel, thank you so much for coming back. I really do appreciate it. And I hope that you also enjoy today's content. So since we are firmly locked in the season of 2011s, I figured I would take the time to give you a little quick update video on one of my bougiest 2011s, currently the H-Duty by Phoenix Trinity. This gun right here. First, before we do anything, some housekeeping. First of all, as a disclaimer, I do not condone the sale of firearms on my channel. All of my videos are strictly for educational and entertainment purposes only. I am just giving my critique of my own personal equipment here. That's first and foremost. Second thing, I want to give a huge shout out to all of you all of my subscribers, all the people who have liked, commented, shared the videos, disliked the videos, clicked on the videos, disregarded the videos, whatever the case may be. All of you all, you right there. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate your support. And last and certainly not least, I got to give a huge shout out to the team and the crew over at the Bunker Gun Shop. My guys, Chris, Frank Bank, entire Bunker 1 and Bunker 2 team. Thank you all so much for always supporting this channel. Now, let's get on with the content, right? H-Duty by Phoenix Trinity. First and foremost, let's verify clear, shall we? Magazine is empty. Firearm is empty. We are in the safe direction. Boom. Magazine back in for aesthetics. And we are filming in a safe and controlled environment. I don't have any live ammunition anywhere in the review space. But anyway, let's talk about this gun here. So what is the Phoenix Trinity H-Duty? Well, this, I believe, is part of their Honcho line. And this is their duty grade, full-size, government profile, double stack 1911/2011. What makes this particular gun interesting is that this gun has a sight block, which you see up in the front here. And this, I believe, is a 4.6-inch slide with a 5-inch bull barrel, ramp bull barrel, fiber optic front sight. This gun came, first of all, let me just, as a disclaimer, I purchased this firearm used. I did not purchase it new. So basically, when I purchased the gun, it came with everything you see, with the exception of the X300. I added the X300 later on. So it came with this particular Hollow Sun 507 comp and the Trijicon plate. Now, keep in mind, when you buy this from Phoenix Trinity, if you choose to buy this from Phoenix Trinity, you're not going to get a Hollow Sun with the gun. So I just wanted to say that, just to put that out there, because I don't want anybody to misquote me or misunderstand when I say I purchased this firearm initially used. So there you go with that. Let me close. But anyway, like I said, bull barrel here, ramp bull barrel. What I like about the barrel on the Phoenix Trinity, I don't know, there's something about the relief cuts that they made. I guess it's, I originally thought it was like a more of a style or aesthetic choice, but I think it was done to save weight. Okay, my firearm is a little dirty because I shoot this gun a lot, honestly. And that's actually another reason why I wanted to make the video. But anyway, we're going to close that up. Another interesting feature about the H-Duty is that you get the sight profile. So you got the rear sight that sits in front of the optic, and then you got the front fiber optic right over here. Originally, I thought that I wouldn't like that setup because I've seen these on the Staccatos, and to be perfectly honest, I don't know, for some reason on the Staccato HD lines, it kind of bothers me. Like, it just doesn't look right in my opinion. But on something like this, I don't know if it's the sight radius or the way it sits, the optics plate sits kind of low in the slot. I don't know what it is, but this, I actually do like this. The advantage of having your rear sight up front, it pushes this big old window a little further to the rear. So when you're running something like an SRO or something like that, or an RMR HD that kind of like juts forward, it gets a little too close to that ejection port. And of course you get carbon and crap and everything all over your dot. So that kind of sucks, especially if you're shooting in a match. That does happen still with this particular gun, but it doesn't get as dirty as fast as I would say like an SRO or something like that. That being said, looking at this optics plate now, I don't know if an SRO would fit this plate. I don't know. I'm not going to take it off to find out because to be perfectly honest, I don't really give a shit. I like the dot that's on there. The 507 comp, it's a decent competition dot. It got the multi-reticle system. Most of y'all are already familiar with that, so I just basically stayed with what was already on the firearm. Of course, you got this, I guess, a skeletonized hammer. But one of the things that I really liked about this particular gun, look, check it out. Grip safety. That thing is pinned. Now, I do not believe that it comes pinned from the factory. I believe that the previous owner pinned this particular grip safety in. Me personally, I don't really care. I love the fact that it's pinned. Is one less thing for me to worry about. And, you know, I think that's pretty dope. Now, this particular gun does have some wide safeties. Now, look, this particular safety is a little wider than the one on this side. And of course, it's more so geared for righties. But lefties, you got a decent purchase over here, too. You can really get your thumb on there and ride that safety. So I think it's pretty good. Now, as far as the grip itself, this is like their aluminum grip, and it has the skateboard tape. Now, you can replace this skateboard tape, and you can buy it from Phoenix Trinity's website, and it'll basically fit on the grip here. Of course, you'd have to take this off. Ideally, you would take this off before you replace it. But they also have other grip options that if you wanted to send it, if I wanted to send this thing in and get it fitted for another grip, I can. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to do that as of yet, as far like, because for right now, for my particular purposes, like I said, this is my limited optics gun for the moment. The skateboard tape is perfect for me. It works just fine, so that doesn't really bother me. Trigger is awesome. Trigger is somewhere in the neighborhood of like 2.5 pounds. And I have just north of 2,600 rounds through this gun since I've got it. Like I said, I shoot it a lot. And I don't know what was put through the firearm prior to me getting it. So, needless to say, this gun is well broken in. Now, what are the cons about this gun? So the first con, I don't even want to say it's reliability, because this gun has been reliable for me for the most part. Like I said, about 2,600 rounds in, I've only maybe had a few failures. But here's the thing about the failures, though, and let me just get to that. The failures in those cases were ammo related. What I recently found out about my H-Duty is that it does not like flat nose ammunition. And what I mean by flat nose, I mean like full metal jacket 9mm, but instead of the round nose, it has the flat one. And I found that out the hard way because I was running a match running 147 grain, I think it was 147 grain CC Blazer Brass. Yeah, 147 grain Blazer Brass with the flat nose. And this thing was choking like a cat choking on a damn hairball. Also, at that particular time, I was having some issues with my magazines. I'm going to try to loop in some B-roll just to kind of illustrate what I'm talking about. So I went home, I stripped my mags clean, I cleaned all my mags, made sure the springs were clean, the followers were clean, got all the crud and grime out of there. I broke the gun down and I cleaned it very well. Clean the extractor. They recommend you clean the extractor claw every 1,000 rounds or so to just get in the habit of doing that. Made sure I put the actual grease, the manufacturer's recommended grease for the linkless barrel system. Muy importante for those of you who may not be aware. That's important. So I did all that. I ran it again. It ran a little bit better, but like I said, it does not like the flat nose ammunition. So, question for my 2011 gurus, if you all will ever see this video. My theory is that there must be something with the geometry of the feed ramp. I don't know if you can see that, but it must be something with the geometry of the feed ramp where this particular gun just does not like that ammunition. Because in the same range session, I put in 115 grain ball and 124 grain ball, and this thing ate it up with no problems, like it's been doing. It's been doing that for like 8 or 9 months now. So is it the shape of the actual projectile, or do you think it might be something else going on? Definitely let me know down there. Like you guys, like, you know, 2ANLA, Team Blacksmith, Major Havoc, all of y'all. Sound off in the comments. Let me know. Like I said, I think it might be the geometry of the feed ramp for that particular round, but hey, that's just my theory. Outside of that, The gun has a really good weight balance, and one of the things that I really like, the fact that it has the sight block up in the front, there's not as much reciprocating mass going back when the slide reciprocates. So I also upgraded the recoil spring in this. It came with I want to say a 7-pound spring when I got it, and I put an 8-pound spring in there, tuned it up, made sure it's running real good. And I gotta say, I actually prefer the 8-pound spring in here. I like it because when this gun goes back in the battery, that extra bit of snap keeps the muzzle flatter. So how that translates into quick strings of fire, the gun doesn't want to, I would say, climb skyward as easily. It doesn't climb skyward as easily as it does with a lighter spring. The other advantage of running a heavier spring is that it can overcome the actual, how can I explain it? It can strip the round from the magazine a little bit better. So it just gives it just a bit more energy to go back in the battery, so you don't have like those failure to feeds and all that old kind of crazy stuff. I actually did that as a result of the issues that I was having with the 147 grain. So I kind of fell into a decent upgrade, for lack of a better way of putting it. And I've run several hundred rounds with this recoil spring in here, just running normal ball ammo. Like I said, I haven't had any problems. So, I mean, all in all, this gun has been rock solid for me. Now, some Phoenix Trinity guns have been known for having issues with their particular finish. And I will say that underneath, there is a decent amount of wear on the finish, where the barrel locks up with the top of the slide, but that's basically it. Like I said, I don't know how many rounds were put through this particular firearm prior to me getting it, so I'm giving it some grace, especially since I've put over 2,000 rounds on this gun since I've had it. So I say all that to say I don't have any issues with the finish of the gun personally. However, I might consider getting this thing sent out and refinished at some point in the future, maybe with like a burnt bronze PVD or a DLC. I might stick with the DLC finish. I'm not really sure. Like I said, this is more so a workhorse gun, so I'm not all that concerned about the finish. I'm just concerned about the damn thing working. That's where my head is at right now. But I mean, all in all, Phoenix Trinity H Duty, this gun is a workhorse. It is for all intents and purposes, the entry level in their honcho line. The other advantage about this particular gun as well, if I wanted to send this thing back to Phoenix Trinity to get another barrel fitted for the gun, like say one that has a compensator, kind of like the H-Tac or the H-Pro, I could do that if I wanted to. I am curious though, would I be able to get a honcho V2 barrel fitted for this? No. I don't know. Just looking at my guy Team Blacksmith honcho V2, I'm looking at this and I'm like, I see some similarities, but I don't know. I probably will never know the answer to that question, because I can only imagine what a honcho V2 barrel setup costs, and I ain't buying it. It's just not happening. I'm good with what I have. But anyway, I'm going to end it there. Like I said, I just wanted this to be a quick recap video of the H Duty, just to kind of let y'all know how it's been running over the last few months. And honestly, overall, I love the damn thing. But anyway, what do you think about bougie 2011s? What do you think about Phoenix Trinity? What do you think about sight block guns? Personally, I was thinking, would it be possible to see more sight block style guns in the future? Like for your more common Browning tilting action guns, like your Glocks, your MMPs, your PDPs, and so on and so forth. Could that be the next wave in firearm upgrades? Let me know down in the comment section. What do you think? Let's talk about it. All right, y'all, as always, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. This is your big homie, the Armchair Operator. I'm signing out, man. Peace.